Well, that month went fast. Let's take a look at the layout. Hello everybody, my name's Steve, I'm the British Railroader and welcome to my model railroad room for a long overdue update on Brooklyn Park. Now, as most of you will know, and those that didn't will probably have noticed, I haven't actually posted any videos for about a month. I decided after my last video where I spoke about perhaps not producing as many videos as frequently, I decided I needed a little bit of a break. I was kind of feeling a little bit burnt out creatively. And so I took a month off. And it's been great because I've now started thinking again about videos that I can make. I've really kind of settled in my mind the direction I want the channel to go, which is more on the modelling side than the real railway side, though bits of that will creep in, obviously. And also, it occurred to me when I got back from America that I hadn't done any modelling this year. You know, I'd done a little bit of weathering on a locomotive or fitted crew to a cab, but I hadn't actually done any modelling on the layout. And there was lots that needed doing, and there were also some areas of the layout that I wasn't particularly happy with. So, in this video, I'm going to just do a quick whiz round of Brooklyn Park. Some of the bits that you can probably see in shot now, you're thinking, oh, that's a bit different, but we'll go through those. And also just to talk about some of the plans for the future at the end. Okay, so here we are at the layout. And the first thing that you are going to notice is I'm just going to pan round. Have you noticed I've got a very nice, neat fascia with my various stickers and labels now attached. If you're wondering who Harbottle is, you need to watch a British railway-based movie called Oh, Mr. Porter from before the Second World War, and all will be revealed. That was courtesy of my friend Tom, who owns Buggles Kelly Station, that makes whimsical characters for your model railway. I put the website address just here. Go and take a little look at Tom's stuff. So with the fascia, I kind of redid it. The board that I had there before was quite flimsy. This is really a lot more stable. And I painted it this light grey. I know a lot of people go for a darker colour, but I quite like it. It means that I've now got all my labels. You know, I've got my Wi-Fi tracks there. And all of the little names that I had, nameplates that I had made up, they're all on there as well. I have got, as you can see, 2 holders for my NCE power cab, so that I could always get another cab if I wanted to. But, you know, there isn't a huge amount of room here. Okay, let's look at the first thing. And the first thing is just here, where we've got this Long Island Railroad Works train. So this area here was a lumberyard. And it would have a couple of centre beams parked in there, and I was never quite happy with it. So whilst lumber is a big thing on Long Island, and New York and Atlantic deliver quite a lot of it, it didn't look right on this layout. This layout is just, as you can see, the curves are quite tight. And so I wanted to change it slightly. So I thought, let's repurpose this yard and let's give it to the Long Island Railroad so that they can park a couple of works cars there. So obviously I haven't got any Long Island Railroad ones, but I've got my CSX ballast car, and this is a New Jersey Transit gondola, and eventually I will stack up the yard with bits and pieces that you would find in a permanent way yard. So that's the first thing. Now, the second thing is this building over here. Now, I started adding lights in here, and I got them all in, and then I wired them up, and then they all blew because I forgot to put a resistor in. So I'm going to have to start that again. But I do want to get these buildings lit before the end of this year. And moving along here with the school's just been sitting there as an empty shell. And again, I'm planning on painting that and getting some rudimentary interior in there and a little bit of lighting. Now, just moving down here, we've got our New York and Atlantic MP15. As you know, when I got that, the rear ditch lights didn't work. Big thanks to Trainworld in New York, because they made contact with me, and bless them, they've given me $25 worth of store credit, which I'm going to have to spend at some point. But I mean, I fixed that, but I wasn't quite happy with the how I'd put the ditch lights in, so I've just reworked those, and they work fine. I've also changed the speaker. I don't know why, I just wasn't happy with the speaker setup in there, which I've never had a problem with the other MP15s that I've got. But I've changed it to a Digitrax, say that right, speaker, and I'm much happier with the sound. Now, as you can see down here, we've got the start of a bit of rubbish forming. This is all 00 stuff that I got on eBay. It does need painting because it's all a bit glossy and whatever, but that's going to be start spreading around so that we can have that. So let's move around to the front. Obviously, the diner, nothing much has happened to it. We've got the garage is relatively complete. I think it's just details and stuff I need to put in the yard to make it look a bit muckier. Now we have this row of shops. So this row of shops is one of the Walther's Cornerstone Merchants rows. Let me just check the box, which I happen to have down here, and it's Merchant Row number 4. And what I want to do is I want to make the shops that I have on here kind of almost like shops that I'd seen whilst I was in New York. So the first one here is this one. So this is Black Cat Wines. Now, Black Cat Wines was a wine shop just down the road from my hotel in Brooklyn. And as a lot of you will know, I do like a drop of wine. And I went in there a couple of times. And when I got back and I got this kit, and I thought, oh, I wonder if I could make one of them a representation. Black Cat Wines itself doesn't look like this. And I tried to get the logo and whatever, and I wasn't getting much success downloading anything off of the internet. So I went on their website and I contacted them and explained what I was doing. And I got a lovely email back from Kate. I think it's Kate, one of the owners, with a couple of JPEGs. So at the moment, what I'm doing, so I've built the fascia just there. This is just paper that's just stuck on for the time being. But what I've done is I've actually made water slide transfers, and so I can then get paint that same color as the frame. And I've also got a sign that will come out the side, and I'll put again a bit of an interior in the shop and a couple of figures to represent the owners. The other two shops, I haven't decided what they're going to be yet, but I will be working on that. And of course, next door, I've got my old building that I've had for about 25 years. Again, that needs some work. Okay, so just here, we've got one of these roadside billboards. I picked this up on eBay. It never looks quite straight, but there we go. I saw loads of these in New York. Now, its positioning isn't ideal because obviously the road would be down here. And if you're driving along, you're not going to see the whole billboard from this side. But it was probably the only place that I could put it. And it kind of fits quite nicely. And the fact that it goes over the railway tracks, I saw, again, plenty of these which overhanged the railway tracks. We'll just come around this side. And I see we've got a different ad there. Now down here we've got, I found this on eBay, it's 3D printed kit of a little convenience store, but one of the great things is that it comes with, and hopefully you can see that, 3D printed basically interior. So I'm going to get that all painted up and whatever, because and then lit on the inside, because I think that would be a really good looking kit. Moving around here, nothing much has changed up this end. We still have the scrap iron yard. I've got my old Rock Island hopper that's sitting here. It's an old Bachmann affair. I've started sort of distressing it and whatever, so that it needs to be a lot grottier, and take that coal load out and put some weeds and stuff in there, and I think that'll look quite nice. And yeah, I think that's it. So I've actually done some stuff on the layout. I'm, quite pleased, especially with this move just here. This, as I said, having the lumberyard here, nice idea, but it just didn't really fit with the layout. If I ever move house and I get more room, then yeah, I will plan it better, and hopefully have slightly broader curves. So that's the Brooklyn Park update. As you can see, I've done a fair few things, made a couple of changes, which I'm hoping are going to revitalise my interest and love of this layout, because I do love this layout, but sometimes you just think, it was a bit hard work, but now it's it's moving on again. In regards, as I said, to the channel, I will be putting videos out, but a little bit more sporadically. I have actually got one planned for next week. So, that whole thing about me not doing them weekly, sometimes it'll happen, but, it just depends on how I feel. But one of the things that I am going to do going forward is, if I go away on holiday, I'm not going to pre-make a load of videos to play whilst I'm away. That's actually a lot of hard work, and I think that kind of contributed to some of the stress that I had, especially earlier this year when I was in Barbados for a few weeks and then I was in America for a few weeks. I did a lot of pre-recording just to make sure that I could get something out weekly, and I've just decided that's not going to happen again. But that's it for this video. So thank you so much for watching. Also, thank you so much for sticking with the channel. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, why don't you subscribe to the channel? It's absolutely free, and it does me a favor because it shows YouTube that actually people do want to watch my videos. If you do subscribe, a little bell's going to come up. When it does, click it, press all, and you will be notified of my videos as they come out. As ever, if you have any comments or questions, you can either post them below, or you can email me directly on this email address just here. I'm also available on all of the social media sites. I post very regularly on Facebook, a little bit less on Instagram, and a lot less on Blue Sky, but I am trying. I keep saying that. But feel free to come and follow me, etc. And you can message me through these social media sites as well. YouTube very shortly is going to put down here a suggestion of a video for you to watch. Go and take a look. You might quite enjoy it. If you've seen it before, then go over to the channel, take a look through. There's hundreds of videos there now, and I'm sure you'll find something that you will like. But once again, that's it from me. My name's Steve. I'm the British Railroader, and I'm saying goodbye from my model railroad room. Bye-bye.